lots of trouble, usually serious, isn't necessarily the case here, but I'm going to go over a few things that I've noticed that are not working or need to be fixed on this car. This car has a carbon fiber wrap on the roof and on the front splitter. It's not necessarily the best wrap job. I'm going to need to do some work to it. It's got a little peeling here. There's been a little bit of undercarriage damage here from hitting curbs and such. With a low car like this, you really got to watch those big bumps. So I've actually bought some carbon fiber wrap, and I'm going to attempt to do that myself, so there'll be a video on that later. One of the big issues I found with this car is the trunk release button. On the key fob, this LOTUS symbol, none of it's labeled, but on this LOTUS symbol you can press this and it locks the door. You press the bottom one and it actually unlocks the door. You have to press it twice to actually release the passenger door. When you do the bottom button twice, it will actually unlatch the trunk. So that works. There's no issues with that. However, once you go into the car, there is a trunk release button, which is this guy right here. If you press it, it's supposed to do the same thing that the key fob did. But as you see, it is not working. After a Google search and looking at that seems to be a big problem with the LOTUS EVORA. There seems to be some, you can adjust the rear, I guess the locking mechanism up or down to make it work. There's maybe too much pressure. I don't know. I haven't gotten into that, but that doesn't work. That's one of the things on this car that doesn't work. So in this car, when you put the key in and actually try to turn it, it won't start. You have to press the little LOTUS symbol on the key and then you can start it. It's like a little safety system. Just a little quirk about the car. Now, one thing that was a big deal on this 800-mile trip was cruise control. I bought this car because it actually has a cruise control setup. The whole first set, it did not actually even work at all. It was, and look, there it comes on. Right here you see the indicator that shows that it's on. The whole first part of the trip, when we actually picked the car up and started driving up the A1A, it did not work. So I Google searched again that night, some issues with it. This seems to be a standard issue problem with the LOTUS. I actually took this little mechanism here that the cruise control is in, and I just started banging on it, and I climbed under the hood, or well, under the steering wheel area, and messed with some of the wiring and stuff, and then it worked. So that's working now, but when I first got the car, it wasn't, and that was gonna be quite an issue, especially with such a long drive. I mean, we hit the interstate and just hit the cruise, and it was smooth as heck with the cruise control working. So I'm super glad it actually worked. All right, so we're sticking with a theme, lots of trouble, usually serious, and this is pretty major. I'm pretty upset about this. This car, it has no cup holders. No cup holders at all. My wife was very upset with that. It also does not have a lighted vanity. It just has the little mirror there. That's pretty serious. We did discover on our 800-mile trip. Now, I'm gonna grab a drink and show you what you can do as far as a cup holder in this car. Now, I've got Mountain Dew, the throwback with the real sugar in it. This is not a paid endorsement, but we did discover as we were riding along that drinks fit perfectly right in the little handguard there. You can put a big tall drink there, you can put a soda drink. So, it may not come with official cup holders, but we found a way. So, there you go. Tip number one to the LOTUS EVORA, it does have cup holders.
Hey, look, where's your cup holders?
I don't have one.
You mean you don't have one $80,000 for this car and you ain't got no damn cup holder?
It's $105,000 and this happens to be one of the fastest production cars on the planet. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, sweetie. This is a limited edition.
You damn right it's limited. No cup holder, no back seat. Just a shiny dick with 2 chairs in it. I guess we the balls just dragging the fuck along.
And the final issue that I had with this car is this Pioneer system. I couldn't get the Bluetooth to work. I couldn't get any of the navigation to work. It was all locked out. So I don't have an owner's manual, which tends to be a problem with the Lotus when you buy them used. The owner's manuals disappear and people try to sell them on eBay for like $600. I did, however, have the Pioneer CD manual in the trunk of the car and was able to reset the system. Unfortunately, when I reset the system, I no longer get the Lotus symbol that comes up, and I put this into the background myself. It basically went back to the standard settings. When I first turned the car on, the Lotus symbol would come up, and it was, really cool. It is no longer doing that, but I do have the ability to go into my phone. I did discover you have to have the brake engaged. It's finally picked up my phone, so the Bluetooth is actually working now. I can go into the destinations and I can actually, a lot of these were dark, you couldn't even see these. And then as far as the Bluetooth settings, I was able to connect my phone now, and I can play the radio through the system. However, I did lose the pretty little cool signal that came up that said Lotus on it. So I'm going to try to work with something. There's an SD slot here. I think I can take an SD picture on my computer of the Lotus symbol, and I think I can load it onto the Pioneer system. But as of right now, it all works like it should, but it wasn't. It just doesn't have the little Lotus symbol that comes up. The other thing that I've discovered is even with the speaker here that mounts for your Bluetooth hands-free communications, I can actually call somebody and hear them in the speakers like it's supposed to, but they can't hear me. So that's something I really need to work on, because I would like to be able to talk without using my phone and drive a little safer. So that's an issue that I think I'm going to have taken care of by, a radio shop somewhere in town. So as I said, I bought this car used with 9,443 miles on it. It's now got a little over 10,000 with my trip back home in it. Those are the few problems that I've had with the car. Like I said, no big deal. For the price of this car, it's amazing. For the gas mileage on this car, taking a road trip, 27 miles to the gallon, amazing. Throw that sport button on, cruises down the road really fast. The handling, it's an awesome car. I'll have some more videos coming out later. I'm going to actually do a video on the wrap that I'm going to put on the front splitter and give that a try myself. I've never actually done that, but I do have the materials in the house that came in yesterday. So that'll be a video coming up. And we'll go from there. I'll try to have some more videos of different things about the car. But so far, the lots of trouble, usually serious, with the Lotus is not so serious, and it's more of a nuisance. And I can take care of those hopefully in time. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll go to the next video later. Hope y'all come back.